Cheers, guys. I'm almost ready to head out and go get our coffees, but I thought, you know what? I'm almost finished this journal, so I better do the how we made it card before I go ahead and finish it and do the short. I do these longer videos for my for subscribers because I think that those are the people that are interested in seeing the construction part of these journals, and then maybe some of my other recycling, which I love to do. So here's the pottery. I do get my large I got my large flowers that I'm putting in. I trimmed them back. These are the ones that I made with the stencils that I found. So these are going in. I just basically started with putting them on the music notes. Got my new word cutouts from my new magazine. I did put the bodice that I was thinking about on the inside cover. Isn't that gorgeous? I like to leave the front in case somebody has details they want to write on, like who it is, the year, or maybe a photo or something like that. So I like to leave the front page. And as usual, I'm trying to leave a lot of writing space here. So I have this one here that I wanted to put in. Should fit. And I might need to take just a tad off. So I think you guys are getting the idea of what my favorites are and how I like to put my journals together, how I'm kind of dipping my toes a little bit into painting by creating some elements with paint. I don't feel confident in the painting part, but you know how it is when you're fixing journals, you have something in your mind that you want to include, and as a typical crafting recycler, if you can't find it, why not buy it, right? So I have these cool words too. I like this a typewriter. Let's put that on there. Or actually, we can put that down lower on the bottom, maybe. It's been so long since I got into this one because I found some other journals that just needed some work on the inside, and then I could post those on the shorts. So that took me away from finishing this one. Let's put this down here. I love the fonts on that. So once again, this is from the new magazine. It's called Somerset Life. I even put the word Somerset in here. And so it is from spring 2016. So almost 10 years old. And it had some fantastic elements. And I've already cut the ones out that I wanted. And doesn't that look awesome? Could read with the Lois Ihart kind. So when I have these longer ones, where they fit is they fit on my page edge here. So I think that's just where I'm going to put it. We have on assignment on one side, and always lose one side or the other one. But it's just a good idea if you have any concerns about copyright. Just don't. I just refuse to photocopy because I don't want to try to guess later on if I photocopied or didn't photocopy. My rule is I don't photocopy any of my elements from the books and magazines that I use. So it's always a sacrifice of one side or the other. But I think that strengthens this very thin writing paper nicely. I don't mind it if it gets a little beat up. So then we're back into the sketchbook paper again, and I'm pretty much leaving alone the watercolor because I would like the person who has this to go ahead and watercolor without any issues. Let's see, this is the word Somerset. That's the name of the magazine. I love that script. Okay, so I was putting the other flowers into the music note paper because I have quite a few of those, but I really think I should get a door in here. Since I made these doors, we could have a door in here. They're different sizes. Which one do you think looks the best? Some of them are bigger than others. I think it's a tie between these two for me. Yeah, so I have the larger one I wanted to show you. I think that my pottery is a little bit too big for these doors. I tried it with the smaller one. Maybe they'll work. Oh, this one works. Okay, let's try that. I think this one's tall and narrow. Okay, let's just try the black one. Black is always easy. Definitely color yourself some black. And then let's see if we can find just an already cut out bunch of trees and stuff. Either some greens or some flowers. I've got to use these up because they want to get wrecked so quickly because I cut them up so finely. They really need to get used. Oh, I'm liking that one. Okay, so one of those has got to be it. So we're going to put the door on here. And we're going to put our vase. Am I on screen, guys? So let's take these away so we can see what our options are. So we can put this one in. This one's really whoopsie-doo. So because of the way that is, maybe put it on this side. Give it a chance before we just say no. Okay, so that one, this one actually would go good up on the top if you see that. I'll actually show you another trick to that. Let's come back to this in a second. I'll show you another trick to this. You can do this with a lot of the cutouts, okay? Because look, I have a center. So let's take the center. Let's go along that center without allowing it to separate. All of those spindly little ends have to stay on the spine here. There we go. So now what we can do with this is you can make two, and you can frame your page with two of them. You can do it either which way you want. You can have it going out or in. You can also have it on each side. Let's see if I have pages that line up here. This one here. You can have them on each side. This is quite big. So you can literally put them anywhere you want. You can put them up here for both sides. I think I like it like that. Or you could put them on the bottom. I'll put them on and we can take a look at that. But any of your flower bunches, any of the flower bushes or trees that have a width to the center, you can trim it in half and unify two pages by putting them both on. Some of these are trying to overlap and it's getting a mind of its own. Okay, so let's do this one. You can put it on the top or you can put it on the bottom on the other side. You can put it down here. Try to get it centered. Totally fine. You wind up with extra glue because of the narrowness. The glue comes in between those two. That's a cool way to divide up a paper or a page. And then for the other parts, you could just add words. So let's take this reed off the center as well, okay? And we'll put these words in between to finish the borders on this page. You know me, I like to leave a lot of room for whoever's gonna have this to write. Gotta switch my page there, it's getting sticky. So let's just get this up here. You know, it doesn't have to go right to the border. The thing of it is how many people actually start writing that close to the top. And you can take your markers in here and you can do little designs around the words if you want. I'm not that confident at doing that swirly stuff. So this one's getting sticky. And then let's do like home at the bottom here. This is words and fonts I read out of that Somerset magazine. Okay. So cool. Okay, so now I want to go back to my thing. And what I need for this actually is I need a stronger page. So let's find one of those. That's why I put the cardstock in. Because these are strong, but they're not that strong. So let's do this one. So we kind of said no to that super big long one. So we got our door here. We can decide which side we want. Oh, look at, you're not even going to see that one. Uh-oh. I need to be able to see that one. We might have to sacrifice this side of the watercolor. Now we can just decide which of these we want to put on. I like that one. I really, really like that one. So it can go on either side. The door can go on this side. Yeah, I like that one. Let's try these other ones just in case. Not bad. Again, this one would be a good one for hanging down. See, it looks good hanging down. Same with this one. I think this one looks good hanging down as well. Okay. So let's do this one here. So the first one we're going to put in is this one. This flimsy one. I'm glad I'm finding a home for it. It's cut so fine that it's just not going to survive in my stash. So I haven't cut more out because they tangle on each other. Okay, so we're going to put the door on that side, I guess. Stay there, door. Just got to figure out my... This can actually go over the door a bit, can't it? And you want it down low enough that people can write at the top. Yeah, let's put that over the door a bit. And let's give our glue a chance by flattening this. This is watercolor paper, so it's trying to give me a bow there. Let's help our glue out and try to get it to come back into more of a flatter shape there. Yeah, I gotta get going. It's getting nice and daylight here, and I'm gonna go get my fresh coffee. I finished my homemade coffee already. There you go. But we're spoiled to like having fresh coffee. So the only other thing is I need to figure this part here so we can bring it up. Okay, so I'm just gonna do it right there. I don't think you're out enough there, buddy. Because that's supposed to line up there, yeah. Yeah, over the door is good. And I got a little dot of my glue here. There we go. So now we just need to put our pot here. And we are tickety-boo. Once again, you're not allowed to be a curvy bulge there. You need to be flatter, sweetheart. Don't give my glue a hard time by trying to bow out. Super glad I was able to find that watercolor paper because I didn't have it. So this one, the only thing is it kind of should look a little bit straight, but I didn't even paint it or cut it out straight, did I? Anyway, this is the kind of fun stuff I'm going to be doing. Wanted to jump on and let you see a little bit of the decorations since I've constructed this journal. And I didn't explain this very well. I am redoing, those of you who care can stick around for this explanation here. Here's my am redoing a sketchbook cover into a journal. And do you think I could find another one here so I could show you what I mean? No, I do not see it. Oh, there it is. Okay. So this is a sketchbook. And they're not expensive. They're $4.50 for 192 pages. So believe me, I'm going through a few of these fixing journals. Because you can take the journal out. Then you can cut them down to whatever size your cardboard is. Like I have this cardboard, for example. If I used this, it's a little bit too wide, so I would cut a small amount down. Or say I did it this way and fold it in half, then I would cut this part down, okay? So that's why this is an excellent paper, because it comes out in signatures. You can just pull it out, cut it out, and you've got a ready-made signature. So that gives you a much bigger page than if you just started with a single page and had to fold them all. You don't have to fold them all. They come out as a signature. All right, got that. So what happened is, because I use up this paper, I wind up with these covers empty. And I decided, well, I'm just going to, because I have the right paper size, I'm just going to turn these covers into my journal covers then, okay? So what people show you when they're doing the hardcover journals, I'm doing a warning for you. They're doing hardcover journals and they're showing you the hardcover journals with this hard cardboard. You need to make sure they're showing you this very flexible. This has to be extremely flexible. If you put this hard against this hard, and even if you put another hard on here to attach these two, at some point the glue is going to snap off. And it's happened to me. So there's some issues with using this as a journal cover. You cannot interfere with that movement there. It has to stay that loose. Okay, so when you cover the inside, cover this side, and then very carefully cover over, but don't start filling in this gap with any kind of paper or anything like that, okay? You can see how I've done that on a couple of previous videos. The other problem with these is that this finish does not like glue. It does not like glue. And I don't know what the finish is, but it doesn't like glue. Sometimes things will stay on for a little while. That's how I found out, is things have stayed on for a little while, and I'm like, oh, I'm good. And then I come back the next day or whatever, because I'm always, you know how we always come back to our journals and flip through and make sure. It might look like it's going to stay, but there's something to this finish that it just comes right off. Kind of like those plastic covers they put on composite journals. So that's a problem for redoing these journals. Because you can't just add your own paper on there. It's got a really slick, fancy finish. You could sand, but if I was going to sand this much, I would sand it outside, because that's a lot of sanding to get that off. So how this one is made, hang in there guys, how this one is made is that I took my blade. This is how I would suggest, if you're going to use these and you want to put your own design on it, of course you do, you don't want to use the same design they have. I would leave the edge. I would leave the edge, because typically that edge can become a frame. That's what I did on the last one. So we're just getting, this is really hard, okay? The cover is hard. And this paper is no slouch either that they put on top. So this is how I fixed it. I tried to explain it, and then when I seen my video, I'm like, I don't think that's explaining anything. So I'm gonna just show you instead. If you're gonna use this kind of, and this finish can even be on cardboard boxes, when you buy electronics, when you buy all kinds of stuff, this finish can wind up being on it, and it'll prevent you from being able to enjoy designing it and decorating it yourself. So once we've got that trimmed or scored, then we're going to peel this baby reed off. If it starts tearing like that, take it on the side that's behaving and come at it from the different direction. There you go. Now, this finish will be no problem for adding the design that you want. Okay, you can keep this and put this in. She's cute. You can put her in a journal if you want. But this is the side that's not going to glue. You can still glue this side. Okay. I don't want you to think when you see my journals like this that I just put this paper on top of this slick finish. No, I did not. I had to remove that and then put my paper in. And you can see, if you look close, I have a small gap because I don't measure that good. And all I did for that gap is I came through with my black marker and I just made a line and finished off that last little bit of that gap. Okay? And that's why when I added my cover, because this spine didn't want to accept my punctures without causing some cracking and stuff, and I have a video on that. That's why when I put this on, I glued it to this paper, not this finish. I glued it to this paper because this paper works. But look at how shiny that finish is they put on there. But this I've used a lot in different things. It's Lois Ihart's book. So I knew that the glue would stick to that perfectly. So that's how this cover got made on the Resist Glue at All Costs cover that the original notebook comes with. Okay, there you go. It's your explanation for today. Have a great day, guys.